Okay, why don't you bow your eyes, close your heads and join me. Oh, how Donald, who art in Washington. Gotcha. Hey, listen, if you're like the rest of the world, much of the world that probably would have tuned in to the inauguration, said that correctly, didn't I? Inauguration of Donald J. Trump today. You've all probably got a reaction, yeah? You've all got a response to what is now the 47th President of the United States of America. Here's my reaction video. And if you stick around to the end, I will share an amazing insight as to how myself, Donald J. Trump, and LeBron James are all inextricably linked together. So stick around for that. Anyway, I love me a good disruptor. I've been a very disruptive person myself, easily disrupted in class. That was often written on my report card when I was a little tacker. But I've been a disruptive teacher, a disruptive person in general, and I love me a good disruptor, yeah? Whether it's Donald J. Trump or if it's LeVar Ball. Yeah, bowler, BBB, triple B, baby. Get this merch. Oh my goodness, LeVar Ball. You got some Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Jeez, most of them were at the inauguration, by the way. But yeah, I love a good disruptor, okay? Rocking the status quo, you know, shaking the boat. And yeah, look, Jesus was history's most disruptive person, yeah? Splits the whole BC to AD history timeline, yeah? So we're in good company. If you're a disruptor out there, yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Tell me how you disrupt your world. Love a good disruption. But yes, I got a reaction video in no certain order of weight. I'll share a couple of things of how I'm going to react, or how I reacted to the inauguration speech of Donald J. Trump. So the first thing is, he said a couple of words. I wrote a few notes down on a fridge magnet here, so extremely well planned am I. He wrote down he would like the country to return to a colourblind and merit-based culture. And I was like, oh, colourblind? Oh, he's talking about me. Because if you know me, I'm anatomically colourblind. You all got 3 cones picking up data on the back of your retina to tell you what colours there are. I've only got 1, okay? So ever since I was a little tacker in kindergarten and primary school, I was always getting smacked over the hands and the knuckles because I'd be drawing trees with, oh, let me get it right. I was drawing trees with brown leaves and green tree trunks instead of the other way around. I still can't even get it right in my head right now. I'm green, red, brown colourblind. I'm blue, purple colourblind. I ain't no dog, so I'm not black and white. I do see colours, I just don't know what to call a lot of them. It's pretty full on. So makes getting dressed funny for everyone else except me. I don't know what's going on. But Donald talked about being colourblind, which I love that, yeah? I love me some colourblind. I don't care what colour you are. I don't care what ethnicity you are. In fact, I love finding out what ethnicity people are. I love finding out where you're from. Because for me, it's like one of the first point of calls of building a relationship is to know where you're from, what's your background, what's your ethnicity, and let's see if we can find some common ground. It's just gold. So I love being colourblind. Like, what's his name? Morgan Freeman was once asked, you know, how do we end racism? And the great Morgan Freeman was like, how do we end racism? Stop talking about it. So, you know, there is only one human race, kind of the point. And that's even, you know, very consistent in the New Testament when Paul, for instance, was preaching in Athens. He was a very multicultural, at the Areopagus in Athens, I believe it was, very multicultural society, people from everywhere. And he said, from one man, all nations were created. And so, preaching that commonality, that we are one human race, and that should bring us all together. So I love me some colour blindness. And that was my first, tick from the speech today. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a, Donald J. Trump writer, but I'll just test everything anyone says. I'll test it and hold fast what's good and then move on. Critique what I don't think is right and move on. But these are some of the things that I'm reacting to from his speech today. Obviously, he's gone about for the rest of the day signing executive orders, yeah. Every president that comes in gets those magic black folders. See, I don't even know what colour they are. They might be brown, I don't know. They get those folders and they sign away all these executive orders. Executive order. Basically, they either undo the previous president's executive orders or track record and bring their own thing back in, or so it's like the day of executive orders, yeah. What hit me is that you cannot legislate, you can't just executive order change in people's hearts. Can't do it. Whether you're right-leaning, left-leaning, centrist, you're conservative, progressive, whatever bent you are, you can't legislate change in a human heart. Now, granted, executive orders, legislations, laws, what do you call those founding documents? What do they have in America? What's it called? They always rave on about it. Constitution, yeah. Marbo, the vibe. They do form grids and frameworks and structures for people who maybe are yet to exist, like, kids that are going to be born, young'uns who are beyond, before the age of their own reason and choice. So you've got little kiddies in preschool, kindergarten. Mate, get some good executive orders in, to help establish what will become, but that doesn't guarantee change of the human heart. Okay, so it's got some value, absolutely, but it's not like you can just bring about sweeping legislations and laws and then therefore human hearts just fall down and change. So it's kind of one of the, I guess, what do they call it? It's one of the, maybe the weaknesses of a reformation, is just to think that it's going to happen. You really do need deep down heart transformation. And so part of my reaction today, I kind of want to encourage you all to not just fight at the level of culture war or political war. We kind of know that politics is downstream of culture, yeah? And a lot of people get trapped higher than politics. They get trapped in culture wars. But I want to encourage you today that culture actually comes from the supernatural or the spiritual realm, okay? Tucker Carlson was kind of like, it was dawning on him all last year about, it just seems blatantly obvious that we're in a war between good and evil. There's something going on in the supernatural realm, yeah? And that's where I want to point you towards. That's why this channel exists. That's why these messages, that's why I drop these messages, is to get you to go all the way to the source of the matter, to the source of every bit of culture, to the way above politics. So go high, yeah? Go high. I want this video to inspire you to go high, right up to the source of things, which is in the supernatural realm, the spiritual realm. Just going to grab a H2O straight off the tank, eh? Got to do that when you're in Queensland. Get some water tanks and go for it. Anyway, so you can't legislate change in the human heart. It's funny that God talks about in the Bible that He'll give us a heart of flesh instead of a heart of stone. And with that heart of flesh, He'll write His law on our heart. So I'm all about God writing on our heart and changing our heart. But it's not like tablets of stone. It's not about following rules and regulations. It's about a heart-to-heart connection. And so again, I encourage you to have a heart-to-heart connection with God, and which is way beyond a new president's inauguration speech and just executive orders that get signed, you know. So that was another reaction I had to today. He said something epic. DJ Trump talks about the measures of success were threefold. It was like the wars we win, the wars we end, and there's the kicker, the wars we never get into. Let that be a measure of success. Wars we never get into. I love that, because that was about being a peacemaker, making peace. Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall what? Inherit the earth. You want to grow your influence, you want to grow your impact, you want to grow geographically, financially, in any area, be a peacemaker. Now, being a peacemaker doesn't mean you're like, just chuck on a pair of sandals, smoke some dope, take some trips and wear a nightie or something like that. It's not about, escaping anything. In fact, it might mean you actually get involved in conflict and then make peace. Yeah, not avoiding conflict, getting in and amongst it. Yeah, getting amongst it, but making peace. And that's a tricky thing. Yeah, I've got family, I've got kids that war against each other, and going in to make peace and getting those two opposing parties to make deals making deals, making peace. It's a tricky thing, but it's a good thing. And you inherit the earth. You grow your influence, you grow territory, you grow in impact. So I love that about today. A measure of success, wars we never get into. So sometimes it might even be it's definitely in your best interest to try to not get in a war. Yeah, pick your battles, but also to just make amends even before you got to go to the courtroom. Some of you are going to be facing courtrooms this year. Some of you are going to face, maybe you're right now in mediation. Yep. Mate, get it sorted. Get it sorted before it goes any further. Do everything you can to live at peace with everyone. Okay? That's a reaction. There you go. Trumpy was talking a lot about golden age, the greatest 4 years of America's coming up. Woo! Mate, for me, as a Christian, I'm already in a golden age. Yeah, I'm not really even first and foremost. I'm not even a citizen of Australia. I am on paper, but you know what I mean. I'm a citizen of heaven. My king is the King of Kings. My governor is the governor of governors. Isaiah talked about Jesus as the government will be on his shoulders, and of the increase of his government and peace, there will be no end. So I'm a citizen of heaven. I'm here as an alien. Thanks, Trump. I'm an illegal alien here, aren't I? And I am on a mission to bring the world back into order to God. Because he gave us the oxygen we're breathing. He gave us the planet we're spinning on, and the galaxy that we're floating around in. It would just it'd only be nice if we could all get back in line with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So, in a way, I'm in a golden age. We've been in a golden age since the dawn of time, since God created everything in the first place, creating us with the atmospheric conditions to exist, the oxygen to breathe, the tilt of the earth so I don't all freeze to death and boil to death, the distance from the sun. Mate, we've got gravity to keep us on the ground. We've got every single thing we need to flourish. And this has been going for thousands of years, let alone when we stuff up and fall away from God. We're born in sin. We make our own sinful choices, and we're separated from Him since Adam and Eve. Mate, He comes down and saves us, does the substitutionary death, lives the life we should have lived. Jesus dies the death we should have died, does the greatest basketball sub ever. My sin for your righteousness. Mate, I'll take that. What a gift. Ripper. Yes, please. Thank you very much. What a golden age. And then, You know, people walking around with Jesus for 3 years of public ministry. Jesus can only go to one person's house at a time, do one miracle at a time. Yeah, he can only break bread and, you know, help people out type of thing, one at a time, one place at a time. He's like, better that I go, because when I go, I'll send my Spirit and he'll be in everyone, everywhere, all at once. Hello, sign me up. Love that. So we're living in, have been living in the outpouring of God's Spirit for thousands of years now, since Jesus returned to heaven. And so, mate, we're in a golden age. I don't need no Trumpy to tell me, mate, golden age, yeah, Bitcoin's going up. Yeah, XYZ factors going up. I'm already in a golden age. The golden age is because we're in the era of the outpouring of God's Spirit on all flesh. Yeah? It's mate, cheers to that. Absolute gold. So those are just some of the reactions I've got to good old DJ Trump, 47th president, his inauguration address, and you know, this is a reaction of from me, a little old Aussie bloke here in Queensland, Australia. Love him or hate him, he's a disruptor, Mr. DJ Trump, and hopefully this didn't set off your TDS too much, your Trump derangement syndrome, and also hopefully you're not just you know, riding on the Trump train without asking any questions or testing anything of what he says or who he is. Because ultimately, you know, kingdoms come and kingdoms fall. Governors get elected and unelected. Yeah, things just go in roundabouts from left to right and from right to left, from left to further left, from right to further right. But at the end of the day, Jesus is the King of Kings and he is the Lord of Lords, okay? And so I'd love you to put your trust in him rather than any ideology or just wasting your life away on needless or just trivial political wars or culture wars. Go way higher than politics and culture and have your wrestles, yes, have your wrestles, Jordan Peterson, have your wrestles, those who wrestle with God, have your wrestles with God. Mate, have it out with him, like Job did, like David did. Like all the honest people in the Bible that actually poured out their complaints before him, have you wrestle with God. Do that. Get that sorted. That'll take care of your culture and your politics. And all. That's just downstream stuff. Go up high. Okay? Now, if you're stuck with me this far, I did promise you I would tell you an amazing fact of union between DJ Trump, myself, and LeBron James. Can you believe this? We all share, well, in fact, if it's not LeBron's actual, but his second son, Bryce. Shout out to Bryce. G'day, Bryce. How you going, mate? We all share the same birthday, June 14. Making June 14 great again. That's right, Donald J. Trump, King Kuchka, and King James's son, Bryce. We all share the same birthday, June 14. What a classic. Of all the days of the year, Savannah gave birth to Bryce on June 14. I wonder what it's like in the James household every year. June 14 rolls around and LeBron and Savannah and what's that guy who plays in the NBA? Bronny, little Bronny. And the little guy, I don't know, the little girl, sorry, LeBron, I don't know all your kids' names, but they're all singing happy birthday to Bryce, yeah? Happy birthday to Bryce. And at the same time, somewhere else in the world, in the same country, a whole bunch of Trumpians are going, happy birthday, Donald. What a classic. And there's a few people here saying happy birthday to me. But hey, we all share the same birthday. Classic, hey? Bit of trivia for you today. Anyway, if you got value out of this video, I want you to like, subscribe, share this with someone who's a Trump hater or a Trump lover. And we'll see you in the next video.